welcome back to Rolling Solo. My name is Adam Smith, and in this video we're going to be checking out an expansion to a very popular solo board game that's been around since 2017, and that is Folklore, the Affliction from Greenbrier Games. Now, the base game, I've done an unboxing of that on the channel many moons ago, but now we are focusing on what comes inside the newest expansion, Fall of the Spire. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the back of the box, find out what this expansion adds into the experience, and then you'll get to see all the components up close. You have traveled the dangerous byways of Kremel and finally walked past the gates of the town at twilight. Once eager to see so many people bustling in the streets, you have grown jaded and keep an eye out for pickpockets. Beneath the building's stone and wood edifice, you notice the layers of dust and grime and a deepening of the shadows. A shopkeeper waves in recognition and looks to you in hopes of news from the outside world. But you have a darker destination in mind and no time to spare. You nod back and take to the rooftops and later descend to the sewers, where you will hope to find the missing piece that will take you to one place that will doom or save this land, the Dark Spire. The Fall of the Spire expansion contains 7 more stories featuring new mechanisms for combat and town events. Play as one of 6 new archetypes or continue your campaign with your existing characters from the Folklore, the Affliction core game and Dark Tales expansion. In this new expansion, the design team at Twinfire takes us down to the dark streets and up to the rooftops in the towns of Kremel, then travel further into the world with new stories, characters, monsters, and afflictions. Explore new combat mechanisms that can be used in this new box expansion, as well as be added to the core game and Dark Tales expansion. The first thing you're going to notice when you open up the box is the story journal number 4 for Fall of the Spire. We're going to take a look through this to begin things off. The first thing you're going to see when you open it up is the new rules section. You're going to see here there's a whole section around the encounter initiative on the left. On the right, we have charged powers, ooze, and golf rules, and the cone template. On the following page, we have 2 tile creatures, hazards, barriers of light and darkness, companion encounter rules, and down the bottom right there, using ladders and rooftop exploration. Rogue characters wraps up that first new rules section, and we move into the new card decks. But at this point, you've got a good idea as to how this is laid out. You'll also notice that everything in yellow is an example that will help further understand what's being introduced here. Now, it's absolutely worth noting that this section right here is going to be of high interest to individuals on this channel. It's all about playing solo, this column, and it states at the very top that the Folklore Affliction game may be played with one player, but they have compiled some guidelines for you to follow to make that play even easier and more enjoyable, and also giving you more details around why you need to play using more than one character in a particular mode as well. There's a bunch of broken out questions here, like, why do I have to play with more than one character when playing by myself? I have heard that playing with 2 characters is really hard. Is it? How many characters should I start with if I'm playing by myself? Whom should I start with? And there are so many components to this game, I don't have room on my table. How do I fit them all? And where should I go when I have questions? Now, what I appreciate about this yellowed area here and this whole column for playing solo is that typically information around solo stuff is sometimes buried at the back of the book. I appreciate that this is closer up to the front of it, especially for individuals that are playing this game solo, and I believe a lot of people enjoy this one solo. So as an example, in terms of the story here, we have story number 1, which is called Into the City. It starts at dusk. It has a nightmare. It tells you how long it's going to be. It talks about what you should do before you begin, the summary of it. Again, this is a very narrative-driven experience. You're really building out a story that's occurring here. So if you're one of those individuals that after a particular campaign game, you enjoy reminiscing about the events that occurred throughout it, this is going to be a game that's right up your alley. The following page shows you an idea of what the map setup is going to be like, talks about danger, primary goals, optional goals, and of course leads into further chapters as you go. And finally, at the tail end of the book, you have a whole section around story moments that will be referred to as you go through gameplay, again driving out the narrative of your adventure. And finally, on the back side of the book, when it's closed up, you've got a full components list to ensure that you have everything in the box that you need. With the rulebook now out of the way, let's go ahead and check out all of the punch boards as well as these different map locations or environments one at a time. And now we get to the final components that are left inside the box. So we have a number of card decks to go through, some standees, and the character cards. And that's going to wrap up this unboxing for Folklore the Affliction Fall of the Spire expansion from Greenbrier Games. I would love to hear in the comments below, those of you that have played the base game or any of the released expansions, including this Fall of the Spire expansion, what your thoughts are on the game overall, and even what your thoughts are specifically around this expansion and what it brings into the universe for Folklore. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, keep on rolling solo.